And we are back. G-Mac and Winnie coming at you with another edition of the Outlaw Blitz podcast. Big fella, let's get dangerous.
Yeah, definitely dangerous after that promotional video we just watched.
Yeah, buddy. I think it's your game. I don't know if it's as much your game as it was always my game. After an 11-year absence, NCAA football absolutely put chills on the arm today.
It did.
That was fucking awesome.
It's going to be awesome. And I think it's even cooler now because the NIL deals.
Yeah, the portal's in it.
So the players' names are actually in the game.
Correct.
I'm assuming if they have legendary teams, the older players should possibly be listed.
I know they have a Heisman House in it. It's come out that depending on when you play in the week and who you're playing is the announcing booth you get.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you may not always get, Nestler and Herb Street. You might get the Fox guys. It depends on, how the level of game.
I hope McAfee is somewhere in this game.
Well, they do college game day to some degree. You know what I mean? Like, how do you not? You got to encompass everything that's college football, you know? And I don't know. You saw the traditions in there from Howard's Rock to the Apaches coming over Mikey Stadium.
Play like a champion today.
To Iowa waving at the kids in the hospital. Yep. I mean, they've got it all. And their engine was always better than Madden's.
It's the playbooks. I mean, it's just so much more fun to run. It's not every Madden game, every team.
Well, let's be realistic. The NFL playbook, they're all the same.
Yeah, they're all.
Everybody runs a version of an NFL offense.
Some sort of West Coasty.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, when RPOs come, right, but you might have 8 teams that run RPO. You got Lamar, you got Jalen Hurts, whatever. But, those guys.
Right.
It's basically the same. Not in college football, not at all.
No, not even a little bit.
No, and the thing is you could take a Coastal Carolina and rebuild them and make them a national powerhouse over
the first thing I'm doing is going back into the portal and bringing McCall back from NC State. So it's funny. I went online because my dad and my mom and dad are down in like Aruba or somewhere right now.
Yeah.
But Coastal's tickets have been on sale. And the weekend I'm going, Virginia's in town.
What week is that?
21st something. The week after
28th?
No, it has to be 21st because the 28th we're going to that Teddy Swims thing. So yeah, it's
Did you say Teddy Swings?
Teddy Swims.
Oh, Teddy Swims.
Yes.
I was like, you're going to see Teddy Swing? Oh, nice. Good for you.
So tickets are not cheap because you don't. Their schedule isn't always the hardest. Clearly, they're in the Sun Belt Conference, but when you get teams that are top 25 ish teams that come in there, they sell out fast. So
correct.
Got to get some tickets.
Yeah.
Soon.
No, that's awesome. College football. We got all summer to talk about that.
Yeah.
But what I haven't done in a long time, and not since last week, but it is time for our It Smells Freshies Fresh Take. Mm-hmm. And my fresh take is, I missed it by a week, I believe, maybe a little bit more, my fresh take is I am insanely proud of you.
Well, thank you.
You've taken a big step in your personal life recently, and you have no idea how proud that makes me of you. It's been a long time coming.
Oh, thanks, bud.
I've been through a lot of stuff, and I've been through a lot of stuff that you've gone through because of it, and trying to help pull you through that stuff. And you look better. Your mood seems better. Even your physical looks better.
Just more positive.
And 30 days sober, or probably more than that now. But
44.
I know, but I mean, last week, as we take these, it's going. But that's a big step, man.
Yeah, it's
the hardest one's the first one.
Yeah, you're not shitting. You're not shitting, but no, it's a clarity that comes with it, and it's good, man. It's good. It's been not as hard as I anticipated it may be, but at the same time, every day is a struggle, and that's the way I gotta look at it. It's a day by day thing.
Yeah, it's just making smarter choices, right?
Yep.
Everybody was going out after the wrestling show. We went to a diner.
Yep.
And I have no problem. Like, I'm the best sober buddy because I don't really drink like that.
Yeah, you don't.
So I could give a fuck about going to get a beer ever. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, dude, let's go have a couple sodas and an ice. I don't care. I'm good.
Instead, we had shitty breakfast food.
Terrible diner food.
No, the egg salad was passable, but shitty macaroni salad.
Yeah, it was not. It was not good.
Not good.
It Smells Freshies Fresh Take. Congratulations on making that step.
Thanks, bro.
Then go over to It Smells. Like their page. We have way more than these.
Yeah,
Highland shows these. These are we have these. These are like an air freshener. You can put it in your car. You can put it in your laundry room. You can put it on your husband's side of the bed.
Yeah.
We had a listener.
And they're not all round either. They do so many different like shapes. I saw they had Mickey Mouse ears this week. I've seen books. I've seen
the little cow with the bangs.
Yep.
They have different ones. We did have a listener, Derek McDonald. He won one of them, one of our giveaways, and it's hanging from his son's closet because his son's room stinks like a teenager. And he's like, "It's amazing how much better that room smells since I put that thing in there."
Nice.
So it's nice to see it. And like I said, go over, give the girls some love from It Smells Freshies. And our fresh take is congratulations to Highland on over 40 days of being sober.
Thank you, sir.
Let's move into our top 5.
Yes.
This week's top 5. Top 5 places from your childhood you wish you could go revisit.
Yeah. This was fun.
I'm pretty sure.
Brought on by Cougar.
Oh, really?
Because he had sent me a text the night prior, and it was similar. He said, if you could go to any restaurant in town from when you were a kid, what would it be? And that's not here anymore.
Right.
He had said the Dragon Inn, or there was another one. I forgot what he had listed. And I had
Dragon Inn, he was only like 2.
Right.
Because that burned down when we were in seniors.
Yeah.
Fall of our senior year.
Was it that?
Yeah.
Damn. I had said either Barclay Steiner, which is now a fucking eyesore.
Yeah.
It's just it looks terrible. Or the Barclay Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
So.
And this isn't exclusive to food.
No, this is nostalgic for us.
All right. I'll start. Number 5, Ponderosa Ranch up there in Caro, on the way, Catskill, Caro area.
Okay.
Used to have the General Lee in the center. It was a go-kart track.
That's right.
So, in the 80s, going to the go-kart track, it's kind of lost its nostalgia now.
Yeah.
But back then, going to the go-karts was a big thing. You know what I mean? You always had that little bit of smell of gasoline. And
yeah, I remember, what was it, Junior Speedway?
Was way up.
The one up by Caro.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the one closer to us, just over the Catskill, had the General Lee in the center. It also had horseback riding and bumper boats.
It did.
And it was just that thing. You know what I mean? It was on your way to do other things or on your way back to do other things.
Yeah.
If you got the nice, awesome, treat of going there. And I have a lot of people used to hang out like at my parents' house, like, because I had older sisters that were 10, 12 years older than me.
Yeah.
So when I was like 8 years old or whatever, they're like 20 or whatever. So a whole group of people got in cars and we went up there to the go-karts, and you're racing around or whatever. And I just remember like I can't remember who it was, but one of my sister's dumb friends, like goofy, didn't know how to drive or something. It was like probably like 15, 16. Came into pits full bore while everybody was stopped.
Oh, Jesus.
Like you pull in and you stop.
Yeah.
Everybody was stopped. They came in there full fucking tilt. And it looked like a train just domino effect.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but that was the old thing. You saw the General Lee.
Yeah.
You're going to get some tickets to ride some go-karts.
Yeah, and that was...
And now it's like a plumbing place, like pipes.
That whole area, it was general. You had that,
Don't go further. I got other stuff on my list.
Oh, okay. All right. My number 5 is...
But that was a big vacation area through there.
It was. My number 5 is the Glasgow Bazaar, the way it used to be.
Correct. That was always like the first weekend of August. They never competed with our 4th of July.
No, never.
And it was always like later in the summer. I vaguely remember.
late July at the early August. But I remember that was like, to me, the turning point of the summer.
Yeah, like you were almost getting ready. It was becoming the Sunday of summer. Like you're waiting for fall to start.
Yeah.
The only drawback to the Glasgow Bazaar that I didn't like is you got all the hoodlums from Kingston came up.
You did.
Because it was when Kingston Sorties did their own thing, you kind of got cross meshing. And Sorties always outgrew Kingston and fireworks and all that. But then when the Glasgow Bazaar came around, everybody was there.
Yeah. And traffic getting out of there was always miserable.
Brutal. I'd love it now.
Yeah.
I'd love it now.
No shit.
But But I remember, I mean, they would spin for liquor all the time. There's all kinds of kinds of crazy shit going on.
All the games.
Their fireworks were
fried dough,
phenomenal.
The fireworks were always great, and yeah, it was just that might have been the first time in the summer you saw people from school.
Right.
That you hadn't seen since the end of school.
Right. So you went 2 months and then you run, hey, Highland, what's going on, man? Yeah.
So now Glasgow Bazaar back then was the
I have a very distinct, you just said something. I have a very distinct memory there about seeing somebody. Timmy Hines, when we were in school, always had a high voice. Hey, George, how you doing? Like really high.
Yeah.
Senior year, Glasgow Bazaar, I run into Timmy. I'm like, yo, Tim, what's going on? He's like, how you doing? I'm like, holy shit, your voice, bro. Your balls finally dropped. And his fucking voice was super deep. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
That's awesome.
All right, my number 4, High Grove Speedway, New Hampshire. This is a dirt bike track now. So I only went up there maybe 3 times. I never won up there. I ran decent, a 3rd, maybe a 5th. And I had a lead in a big race up there. But the bigger thing with that was I was trying to think back at times in my life that I was considered a kid, younger, right? And, it was a 3-hour ride to get there. Just time with my dad and racing. Like, Accord Speedway is still there, so I don't count that. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? And I can still go there, and it's still the same premise. This track doesn't exist anymore. It was a road trip. It was like your first time out of town to see if you belonged.
Yeah.
See if you could really go against people from not the area.
Right.
And, just going up there and
Eddie did not have to pay a phone bill.
No, Eddie was not even in the pit.
In the racing picture.
No, he wasn't.
Tommy Appa?
Nope. My brother-in-law, my dad, and Richie now. That was my original
the small
4 guy.
Group.
Yep, small group, and we went up there. And I remember, just wild stuff about it. It's up in the hills in New Hampshire, and it was just a long trip, and these different things. But it was more nostalgia reason, and I'll get into it a little bit more. I was when I was making this list, I was fucked up a little bit because I watched Young Sheldon.
Okay.
And they buried his dad.
Oh shit.
Whose name was George.
Fuck.
And a lot of it was very similar very, very similar to my dad.
Yeah.
People would make jokes, about this, and he was a football coach, and they made a joke about like all the cows, the cows feel relief because that probably 20 of their lives were saved by him dying today, shit like that. But it just was nostalgic. And then you're reading, and then I'm doing this, and I'm trying not to, get emotional about it.
I know Slim Jim's that market took a hit.
Took a big hit, yeah.
Took a big hit.
Yep.
My number 4 was a combo, Shea and the original Yankee Stadium.
Okay. Shea was kind of a dump, but it was what it was.
But it was what it was.
The Apple, the whole thing.
And when we were kids, 86 was the first time. Yeah, it was 10. The first time I went to Shea was in 86, and that was the year.
Yeah.
They won the series.
I watched the Jets play the Dolphins there.
Really?
Yeah, I got pictures of me at the Jets versus Dolphins.
Oh, that's cool.
Like 80. Richard Todd was there, so like 82, 84.
Yep. That's awesome. It was a doubleheader. I remember the second game of the doubleheader was Nolan Ryan and Doc Gooden.
Yeah.
So you didn't get a better matchup for that time.
No. I remember seeing Strawberry hit a home run off the Expos bus out of the stadium
He hit some mammoth shots.
So you remember where it would cut off in right field, and then the scoreboard was there. He hit it between the two, out into where they parked the bus for the Expos back in the day.
I've seen him hit the scoreboard, and the last game I ever went to at the old Shea, or at Shea, was David Wright hit a walk-off.
Oh, really?
Against the Diamondbacks, yep.
Yeah.
So, listen, Citi Field's nice. It really is. I don't like the new Yankee Stadium. It doesn't feel the same, not even remotely.
No.
It's very corporate, and it just doesn't have that aura.
Mystique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got all the championships, the real field still sits next to it, so you can go stand on the field they played on, but it's just different. So, yeah, the old ballparks.
Cool. My number 3, the Hudson Valley Mall.
That
is it higher on your list?
Hold on. I believe it actually is my number 3 as well. Yep, the early 90s, Hudson Valley Mall.
All right, and that's where mine was. Late 80s, early 90s, Hudson Valley Mall. The energy when you walked into that place.
Yeah, it was always packed.
You just felt it. Like Burger King next to Deb's with all the little round mirrors, and then are you going to walk down? And at one point in our lives, we went down to where Hot Topic used to be, and then you went down the hallway
to go to the movie theater.
To the theater because it ended there before they put the food court on and Sears and all that in the back. But I remember being in there in the 90s in its heyday, and it was unbelievable.
No, it was awesome. And wing night at Ground Round. I remember going there during football season and absolutely destroying wings because it was as all you can eat wings and bottomless pitchers of soda.
Yeah.
And they wanted to kick us the hell out after 2 hours.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hundreds of wings later.
Yeah. I remember probably in our 20s.
In the screen in the back, it was all burned. Shit was burned into it. It was so trash, but it was awesome.
Yeah. I remember in our 20s, Coyote Cafe was the big hot spot.
It was.
You'd always run into everybody there. We were young, had kids, whatever, but we'd always be at Coyote Cafe.
Yep.
Yeah, the mall in its prime was a bustling, awesome place.
It sure was.
My number 2, Carson City.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't say it.
Yeah, I knew you were going that direction. Yep. Carson City, Catskill Game Farm, that type of shit.
Yeah, that was a big summer thing almost every year. It was either Game Farm and Junior Speedway, or I never went to Carson City.
Yeah, so Carson City, what was awesome about Carson City, it was an old West town.
Yeah.
And you'd go in and, Billy the Kid and this and that, right? So what they would do is they'd give you handfuls of bubble gum when you get on the train.
Yeah.
And then they rob the train for all the candy.
That's awesome.
So then later, now the sheriff would come and, he'd deputize you and you get a little badge and a little cap gun. And then you'd go and track down Billy the Kid throughout, the village, which was pretty much a village. And you catch him and they put him on this gigantic seesaw that was huge. And you dunked him in the lake. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cool.
Right. You know what I mean? And there was horseback riding and there were shows with magic and just different stuff. And it was awesome because it was kind of like LARPing, live action role playing.
Yeah, because it was the Old West.
Your parents brought you around. You rode the pony. You did this. You did that. But it was all part of a story.
You had your little plastic-ish cowboy vest,
right? And it was all part of a story. Yep. You know what I mean? So and then all of a sudden, ding, the bell rings at the old church, and then the whole street empties out, and they have a shootout, in the middle of the.
Oh, that's cool.
So you know what I mean? So it was fucking cool as hell, and kids today will never experience that stuff.
No.
They might go in the middle of Kingston see a shootout, but not.
It's different.
Yeah, it's
no
different.
Church bells ringing to signal it.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's see. Number 2 is.
You got to make that stay up.
Storytown, USA / Great Escape.
Yes.
Pre Six Flags.
Yep.
Storytown. When we were little kids, that was the big ride. There was the log flume.
Yep.
And then when it became Great Escape, they got the Steamin' Demon.
Right.
And the Raging River, because that was our sixth grade trip, if I can recall. If you go up now, Great Escape, Six Flags.
Both are still there.
Right. Six Flags is taking over. Most of the Storytown stuff is either super dilapidated or gone. Yeah,
but it's still cool to go in them little shops. They got an ice cream shop in one of the shops. And that's Carson City. That's the best way to explain to you if you've never been there. Storytown looked like Carson City.
Yeah.
It was all little buildings. You went into church or school or whatever.
Told little stories. Yeah. It was like Alice in Wonderland. It was I guess bootleg version of Disney.
Yeah.
But it was it was awesome. And you always had the rides that were closer to the main highway, which were the younger kid rides.
Yep.
And then you had the wooden coaster in the back. And Six Flags.
I don't think it ruined it. It kept it pretty legit.
It did. But you when you have that desire for yesteryear stuff, that was probably.
Yeah, but the Steamin' Demon's still there, and so is the Desperado Plunge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're still there, so they kind of still hold their place to a degree.
I remember even in my early 20s at my grandparents' house, they had a little plastic mug up in the cabinet that it was almost gone, but you could still kind of see it.
Yeah.
Storytown, USA, Lake George, New York on the side of it.
Nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
it was
Get you
fun.
nostalgic, yeah.
Yep.
And you remember back then, amusement parks weren't. That was like a major treat. You didn't have season passes and all this kind of crazy shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, and then my number one is a very specific date.
Okay.
July 10th, 1988. It was a Sunday.
Damn.
I had to go back and look on the calendar, and then I'm like, we were supposed to play the championship game for Little League on Saturday, and I think it might have rained out, or problem with the fields, because you remember back in the 80s, Canton Field was packed every day.
Every day.
So we played on Sunday night, which was my birthday.
Yep.
And we win the Little League championship. So then we go to Mike Onion's after, and there's a big pool party. And I've talked about this on other podcasts.
Joe Martin?
Joe Martin. But, it's one of those things. You got to remember, when I took this kind of like prior to me having kids.
Yeah.
So when I was young.
Absolutely.
My whole family was together. My sisters were still married to their, everybody was together. There was no real kid. I think Zach was the only kid around. He was like 3.
Yeah.
So when that final out came, it was a ground ball to me at short, and Mike Buzon cut in front of me, and we used to call him 1 in a million.
Yeah.
Because he'd get one ball out of a million to first base without overthrowing it, throwing it in the dirt. And he threw a fucking BB right to Dougie Tamello.
That's funny.
And
would he airmail everything else?
He would airmail it. He would skip it over there. It was never there. But he fired an absolute fucking dart to Dougie Tamello.
Yeah.
And it looked like, remember when Orozco throws the glove off?
Yeah.
So I've talked about
everybody
this.
Charges the mound.
There's a huge pile on the mound, but the fans came out. Like there was adults coming out of the field.
Jumping on the pile.
Because we were losing the whole game. And a kid that was 0 for Little League hit a fucking bases clearing triple right over my head.
Who was it?
Mike Armstrong.
No idea.
Kid was 9. I'm standing on first base, and we're like, we think like our best chance is over. There's 2 outs. I get walked. I'm on first base with bases loaded, and like I was like the home run hitter. I'm like, fuck, I didn't get to win the game. And I'm standing up first, and Mike Armstrong hits one that almost hits me on top of my helmet. It literally goes right over my head on first base, down into the corner. And like the second that went over my head, I just took off. And so we get the lead 3-2 in the bottom of the 5th. And then I think it was either Mikey Onion or maybe Shane Newkirk finished the game, and we win 3-2. And then fucking people came on the field. It was wild.
That's awesome.
But that day, like, my whole family, my dad was still alive. My mom was there. The birthday party. Yeah. How do you get a better birthday than that? You know what I mean? So that would be my number one.
That's cool. My number one is the late 80s, early 90s Wildwood Boardwalk.
I figured you'd say the place that burned down.
Castle Dracula. It's on there listed. It's Castle Dracula /
I knew. I said when you sent me that, what we're doing this week,
it was going to be.
I said Castle Dracula is number one. Yeah. I knew it 100%.
Listen, to this day I love Wildwood, but that was like
the heyday.
For our generation, absolutely. It was before it got run down. Now it's super expensive down there. Mm-hmm. They've come in and corporate America has taken it over and made it a destination again. But now, as you saw a couple of years ago, it's not cheap to take a family down there anymore.
Oh, hell no.
But yeah, that was everything on the boardwalk was open. Castle Dracula was doing its thing. I can remember buying a Dallas Cowboys hat from the sports store on the Boardwalk Mall. And in typical Highland fashion, I go out, twist my ankle on the boards, soda goes up in the air all over the brand new hat. And my father,
what year was
Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
Yeah, of course.
That was probably like, let me see. I can remember in 87. I remember being there in 87, getting a strawberry jersey and reading in their local paper in the hotel room that morning that Doc Gooden was entering rehab for the first time.
Yeah, for coke.
Yeah. So that was that year. Yep.
Yeah. All right. But no, dude, it's amazing what you can recall from certain
specific things.
Yeah. Yep. And they're probably like these gigantic balls of energy that, like, you know what I mean? Like, just implant. Like, you're not forgetting these.
Another specific thing I can remember being down there, and this was an odd time because we usually went in June with the Mayones. And then once in a while, we'd go down in September. My grandparents would be down there. They would go in May and September.
Yeah.
And I remember walking with my grandfather, who would have been 97 today.
Oh, happy birthday, Pop.
Yeah, happy birthday, Pop. And we're walking along the one basketball court that's on the beach. And in typical Pop fashion, he didn't think I saw him do it, but I saw him do it. He throws a 20 on the ground. I was like, hey, there's money down there. So I was like, oh, I found it and picked it up. So it's just the shit he would do.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's like I said, that was nostalgic. And you're right. There are just moments in time that are forever etched in your, as small as they may be, forever etched in your brain.
Yeah. And the reason I kind of think that, do you ever, a certain smell brings you to a time and place immediately?
Absolutely.
Almost every time I get like that first, people mow their lawns all the time, but there's a specific time where you get that really grassy first cut of the year.
Yeah.
That almost immediately brings me to pulling in a Cantine Field as a kid.
Yeah.
Like that was our Yankee Stadium, our Shea Stadium. Like that was our spot.
Especially the Mid-Atlantic, the first year when Lorenz got done.
Oh yeah. I played in Mid-Atlantic.
I remember that the shirt had Babe Ruth on it.
Yeah, Jerry Hayjack.
Joe Sinnott did the design for it.
Correct. It was Jerry, and then it had three players looking up.
Yeah.
And it was Jerry Hayjack, Damian Bono, and maybe Bartels.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
but
funny.
I remember because like Jerry was always older than me. That's how 14 came into play. Jerry was 14. So I remember when they drew it, I go, that's Jerry Hayjack. Because of the way he stood. Jerry always kind of stood like one hip up, one hip down kind of. And I just remember seeing it. I go, that's Jerry. I just knew it was Jerry.
That's so cool.
So it was cool that they came into town, and how many people came in for that. So
yep.
That was wild. All right, ready to move along?
Let's do it.
Five crazy questions brought to you this week by Winnie.
And our video is brought to you by
the guy who smells wonderful.
He does.
And Winnie will tell you.
I made sure I told him again this week. And
Moranti Plumbing and Oil.
He gave me a little hug on the way out, so I smelled like I'm leaving.
You still smell like him. 901-4194. If you need a plumber that's going to show up and do the job right, you call Moranti Plumbing and Oil.
That's right.
Not plumbing and kerosene. Plumbing and oil.
Number one, what was your favorite place to eat as a kid, and what was your order?
Favorite place to eat?
Shout out to Cougar.
Yeah. I've always loved Pizza Star. It's like my go-to. But if I was saying, like my parents to bring me somewhere,
yeah,
Ponderosa.
Okay.
Just getting the plate. You had the plate, and you're like, I could eat anything in here. And I was a little shit. I didn't eat a lot. I got fat late in life. I was skinny when I was young.
All right.
Yeah. So, but Ponderosa, 100%. Ponderosa
was awesome. Over Sizzler for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Because the ice cream was better.
Yeah. Yep.
Number two, what would suck more, a wet sleeping bag or a sleeping bag with sand in it?
A wet sleeping bag, because you're just never getting warm. If you're in a sleeping bag, it's because you're going to be warm.
Right.
And if it's wet, when you're damp, you're just never warm.
So,
I think warm has a lot to do with being dry.
Yeah.
So sand, you could sit on sand and be dry.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like
clearly.
Right.
But yeah, I think, and I don't know that I've ever been in the military with a sleeping bag that didn't have sand in it.
All right, there you go. That's fair.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So
number three, would you rather have a personal maid or a personal chef?
Personal chef, I'd be in a lot better shape. I can clean my own house. We used to talk like two old ladies. We'd be on speakerphone cleaning our houses on Monday mornings. That would be our Monday morning conversation. Every Monday.
Right. Plus your place, yeah, you can get through that probably in like an hour.
I mean, this goes now, but this goes back even when I had the house over off of 32.
Right.
Because Dre reminded me, she goes, every month, she goes, I love listening to you guys talk because it's your Monday morning conversation. She goes, I'd come home on Monday nights and I loved it. The house would be spotless, mopped, dishes done. This. She goes, and I was like, oh, he must talk to Winnie for the last hour and a half.
Because it's done.
Because it's all done. Because that's what we would do on Mondays.
Yeah, you're right.
We'd bullshit and then later in the day, or we'd meet up and we'd go look for figures for the kids.
Yep.
The action figures, if a new one came out or whatever.
Oh my God.
So they were really good days back then.
Absolutely. Number 4. Would you rather labor under a hot sun with only milk to drink, or endure working in extreme cold with the crotch blown totally out of your pants?
My balls are always sweating, so I'm like Derek the Beast Lewis. My balls was hot, just have the crotch blown out.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Now,
you get a nice. Heat. It'd be like working in a kilt. My Scottish ancestors did it. I can do it.
102 degrees, sweating your balls off your cotton mouth, and the first thing in your mouth is milk.
Milk. Yo, milk. You want a glass of milk with that?
That day was different.
Yeah.
His lips did not touch.
His lips did not touch.
And number 5, would you rather have to climb your way out of a ravine or swim to shore from 3 miles out in the ocean?
Climb my way out of a ravine.
Yeah?
Yeah. The ocean and humans just don't belong together.
That's fair.
There's some very massive animals out there, mammals, whatever, fucking sharks, whales, electric eels, you name it.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
You're always in danger of drowning if you're not going to get eaten.
Yeah, I mean, one leg cramp, you're done.
Yeah, that's true. Or you can get...
I mean, you can fall the fuck
75
off.
feet up in the ravine and 100%. Take a header.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to do either right now.
Right.
But at peak physical shape, probably definitely climb out.
Like if you said the river, I might
even
take my
then,
chances.
Dude, the current.
Yeah.
Dude, swim across the river. It's a mile.
It is a mile.
I don't know that it's a mile.
Well, in some spots it is, though.
Right. Yeah. But just swim Saugerties to Red Hook across. Dude, that's a long fucking swim, bro.
It is a long swim.
And we're not Michael Phelps.
Far from it.
Far from it. It would take you half the day to swim across.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right with the current dragging you along.
Right, you'd probably start up at fucking Malden and end up down at Kingston Point.
Where are you? I think I'm outside of Newburgh. There's Billy Joe's Rib Shack.
Yeah, where'd you start? The Malden Park?
Yes.
Yeah. By the time you made it all the way across,
you're done.
Yeah,
it's a wrap.
And now you'd be on the same fucking side. You'd be like, I went this far and I didn't even get across.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
All right, so there is 5 crazy.
All right, now I got to find the song because it's been a while. And there it is.
Jesus, what?
Stately Definitions is back, possibly.
Got it.
From Winnie.
All right, so this is
a highly requested,
and this is going to be titled "Rhode Island Revisited."
Okay.
Okay, and this is
all based off of
Rhode Island Clam Stand,
which I very desperately want to do.
And I did screen cap it so I can recap what it is. It is the precarious act of performing cunnilingus whilst adopting the handstand position, believed to have been invented in the Greater Providence area sometime in the early 2000s by an individual known only as Little Danny.
Little Danny is a fucking legend.
He is a legend.
Is a legend.
He, yes.
Yeah,
okay. Get a little side squeeze.
Okay. All right.
Number 2 is the Woonsocket Dynamite. After Woonsocket, Rhode Island, that is when you give a guy a blowjob with Tabasco in your mouth.
Ooh, lights the stick up.
Yeah, I don't
want that. I've heard of Altoids. I don't know. I'm not gonna.
Not Tabasco.
No.
And I'm not sure if Little Danny was ever involved in that one or not.
Probably not.
Sticking in Woonsocket, this person may have performed it. It's the Woonsocket Rocket.
Oh boy.
Is a skanky pill-popping whore from the cesspool city of Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Typically has more tattoos than front teeth.
Do we need to go visit Woonsocket just to see? Like, this is what is funny.
Yeah.
We make fun of this, and then we go and do a fucking
road trip.
Outlaws in the streets.
In Woonsocket.
In Woonsocket, and just...
Are you the Woonsocket Rocket?
Yeah.
Do you know, where can we find
little Danny? Yeah.
That would be the trip.
Could you imagine you meet little Danny?
All over Rhode Island, trying to find little Danny.
That'd be awesome.
The Narragansett Knuckle.
No idea.
The sexual act where a partner takes a clamshell, inserts one half into the vagina and the other half into the anus. Once inserted, the clam holder must go knuckle deep in both vagina and anus and make the clamshell meet to make a clapping sound. Yes. That's sharp.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
You'd be all tore the fuck up. You need tux after that.
Oh, something.
You need
some stitches.
Yeah, something.
And do not do anything with Tabasco after that.
No.
That's going to be bad.
Yep.
And the Rhode Island tire shine.
Okay.
Which is pretty funny. When some asshole in his Maserati, Benz, Porsche from New York parks too close to your dirty pickup truck, you bless this new Pirellis with about 14 ounces of used Miller Lite straight out of your wang.
Piss on his tire.
That's it.
That's funny.
And this one, it's not exclusive to Rhode Island, but it struck me as funny. Bofa tea.
Bofa?
Bofa tea.
Okay.
After a run or a particularly hot day, the sweat that comes off your nuts. Bofa tea.
Both of them nuts.
Both of them nuts. So,
and that was Stately Definitions. That is awesome. That's good, man. They were good. See, they're you don't have to always be gross. They can be funny as shit.
They can be funny as shit.
All right. Now we move along to one of our favorite segments. Dirtbag has made another visit. We're doing these way more than we used to.
Yes, but it's because it's being requested.
Yes, it's being requested. People love the Dirtbag thing. And quite honestly, that's our buddy, Big Gay Sal, on the screen. And it's sponsored by BGS Construction, where he nails all studs from the rear. Give him a call, 914-403-2619. And you could probably find him at his gay nightclub in Montana called...
Montana Meats.
Montana Meats. The Meats of Montana.
That's it.
That's where all the men meet, and they go, and it's big. Lots of carrots in that stew.
Yes, lots of carrots. A lot of bear meat, too.
A lot of bear meat. Sal is a bear, and he's looking for more bears. All right, number one. Have you ever gotten cash withdrawal at the register?
Absolutely.
Dirtbag. You're up there going, give me 20 back.
Yeah. The CB button, yes.
Yeah, at the Dollar General.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Yes. Dirtbag is such a dirtbag. All right, number two. Have you ever had a glizzy from Stewart's?
Come on, dude. Are you doing this again?
Only that one. That's the only one, I swear.
100% every day.
You dirtbag.
5 days a week I have a glizzy from Stewart's.
Those fucking things look dried up.
They're so good. They're top of the glizzy list. Next to the dirty water dogs.
So if you're a little older and you don't know, glizzy's a hot dog. Hot dog from Stewart's. This dude comes in with one like almost every fucking day.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And they always look burned and fucked up in the morning.
I'll get mad at the employees on the Greenkill one if like they don't have those crusty ones there.
Yeah. I prefer a grilled hot dog over a boiled one.
I do too.
All right. Number three, did you ever win a bowling trophy?
Oh, shit, yeah.
Dirtbag. That wasn't specific. These were just things that...
I was Ulster County singles and doubles champion in, I don't know, 89, 88.
By yourself both times?
Well, singles.
I know, fucking Who was the double?
Jeremy Russell, Matt's brother.
Oh, cool. Who's got a massive penis, apparently, that Matt did not get.
Matt did not get.
Yeah.
He got the foreskin. Jeremy got the rest.
Yeah, and there might be a video of Matt out there right now.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. All right, number four. Have you ever ordered a $15 meal and put in $7 towards the bill?
Nah, because I curse at people. I don't think so.
Have you?
I don't know. Have I? Maybe.
Have you?
Probably.
Yeah, we've all done it at some point.
I think so.
You're like, oh, I just ordered $20 worth of food. I got $15. Make it work.
Yeah, that's the John Decker right there.
Make it happen.
Or the best is Hey John, do you want pizza? Yeah, get me a small pepperoni. Hey John, it's gonna be $12.50. Yeah, see Rossman for that. I don't have any money.
Yeah. All right. Number 5. Did a family member ever send you to the store to buy them smokes?
Yes.
We're fucking dirtbags. We're all dirtbags. Yeah. In the 80s, you could do that.
Didn't matter.
You'd go down. Your mom would send you down. Give me Parliaments or some shit, and you'd go down and get them and bring them back.
Yep.
8 years old on a bike with a fucking box of smokes.
That's
in your
it.
head. Yep. All right. Number 6. Do you know or do you say the word both with 2 F's?
I did before.
Yeah.
Both a T.
We know people that say it. Both, Smith, birthday.
The Sophist.
Birthdays.
Dirtbags.
Dirtbags. Yep. Yeah, dirtbags. All right, number 7. Did anyone in your life have a bead door?
A bead door.
That would be very popular to us. Like when we were in the 90s, they'd have the beads hanging instead of a door. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no.
Nobody in my personal life did, but I remember going to a friend's house.
Right.
And her older brother had a bead door.
Yep.
And I'm like,
dirtbag.
Yeah, fucking hippie dirtbag shit.
You just hear them clanging together every time she goes in or out of the room. Yeah.
I mean, although you see it in movies, like, I think if, like, a college chick, you were a little younger and a college chick put you in a room and she kind of came through and locked you, that would kind of be sexy.
Yeah.
As opposed to just a door.
Or a dude.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Yeah. All right.
Sal has beads.
Has beads everywhere.
Everywhere.
And it's wild.
They start real small and then get
like
huge.
Big, yeah. They look like cannonballs by the end.
Yeah, they smack in your shin and break the bone. That's how big they are at the bottom.
Yeah, it's like
they're
misery.
balls.
They're like misery.
They're cobbling. Yeah, cobbling.
Yeah. Number 8. Have you ever owned a lava lamp? Come on, Winnie. It's not that hard of a question.
No, I haven't personally.
You're a dirtbag if you did.
I haven't.
I know. I haven't either, but dirtbag. Number 9. Do you plug your nose when you jump in the water?
100%.
You're a fucking dirtbag.
Fuck you.
You're definitely not a
Look
hero.
Look at the size of this nose. Yeah, half the fucking lake goes up it if I jump in and not plug it.
You're not a hero. You're this big dude and you go.
Yep, 1,000%.
Look at dirtbag.
To this day. Or I'll come up I'm choking and shit. I can't do it.
The amount of air you could blow out of that thing, you would never have to worry about water going up it.
No, probably not.
All right, number 10. Have you ever locked your keys in your car while it's running?
100%.
A fucking dirtbag. Isn't that where you used to? You had to go in through the trunk with a cane and unlock
that
the
was
back
the
door?
old car. Yeah, I could do that. I forget what car I had, and Carly had to come bail me out a couple times. I got stuck outside of Quick Check at 7:10 in the morning. Car running, doors locked, and Joe Manello trying to talk to me.
Oh,
like, get the fuck away from me.
And then I have one bonus. Have you ever gotten a tattoo of a musician?
Of a musician?
Yeah.
No.
Let me see your arm.
I don't have any tattoos.
TCB, Elvis Presley, right there. Dirtbag.
That's not.
That's
not
a musician.
Him.
It's of a musician.
Well, it's a signature.
Yeah. It's like that, or if you got AC/DC or Metallica tattooed on your body.
Yeah, no.
Fucking dirtbag.
Right.
You're a fucking dirtbag. And that wraps up our dirtbag segment for this week. And that's one of those things. Like, I mean, tattoos a million different things, right? But I never understood, like, I'm going to go get fucking Vanilla Ice tattooed on me.
Whoa.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why? Like Zippy has Quiet Riot's guy on his forearm.
Does he?
But the reason he's got it, his daughter drew it.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's different.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you see people that have, like, AC/DC tattooed on.
Yeah.
Like, what happens if you all of a sudden like classical music and AC/DC sucks?
I don't need Dee Snider fucking portrait
Twisted
on my
Sister
back.
on your fucking...
No.
You know what I mean?
Axl Rose on your arm.
Yeah, I just don't... I don't get it.
I'll give you a bonus one. Have you ever owned an airbrushed T-shirt or hat?
No, I could never afford them. I'm that much of a dirtbag. But I made sure I bought every one of my kids one of them when I could afford it.
All right.
Because I could never get one.
Have you ever... so that would also... What would also go with that would be the airbrushed license plate with the palm trees.
Yeah, 100%.
That's straight dirtbag.
Yeah. Yep. That is. That's dirtbag for this week. We're kind of running out of some, so please send us your dirtbag questions so you can get in on the fun that is dirtbag.
Yeah.
Let's move it along. All right. This week's Over and Under, sponsored by the Law Office of Brian Duran, 339-4313. If you're in a bit of trouble and you need to... Come on, Winnie. A little help, and you're going to claim bankruptcy. You get $100 off if you mention the Outlaw Blitz podcast. Brian does excellent work. All right, number 1, Shrek movies. The Shrek movies.
Overrated.
Really?
Yeah.
I think they're underrated. They were... personal opinion. Like this week, I was just putting something on for background noise, and it just happened like Netflix. It was on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, I just put it on background noise. And I kind of laughed to myself, you know, like when, you got Eddie Murphy and Mike Myers, two of the funniest guys ever, you know, and the shit that comes on, it's still youth stuff, but there was the adult comedy.
Right.
And I don't know if that was the first one, but I feel like I remember that being the first one that you would watch, and there was like these underlying adult theme shit.
Yeah, I was like watching the old like Bugs Bunny back.
Yeah. How do you make antifreeze? You pull up her skirt. All right, number 2, spare ribs.
Underrated.
Really?
I love spare ribs.
Okay, so here's my dilemma. Last night I had them. Delicious. So I would want to say underrated. But I sleep like shit every night after I eat them. Doesn't matter if I eat them at noon, if I eat them at 8 p.m., if I eat them at fucking 11 a.m. It doesn't matter. That night, I sleep absolutely terrible. What the hell? So I got to say it's got to be... Now I got to say they're overrated. That's don't weird. Know. I don't know. Might be something in the sauce. I don't know. And it's nothing like that. It disagrees with me where like I'm burping it up or anything. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing like that, but I sleep terrible the night after.
Interesting.
Overall, underrated for taste.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, lip injections.
Overrated. They can look so fake.
Yeah, I mean, they can look fake. If you love them, do them. That's you. They're your lips. But some of them look like they're like concrete.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And some of them look like super fake, like way too big.
Yeah.
You know, but if they do them really good, you don't even know. Like the subtle ones, you don't know. I know somebody who needs them. Kevin DeVore.
He has no lips.
None.
Lipless.
Right. So he needs like 10 shots in each lip.
Yes, just to even have something.
Yeah. Yep.
Not even just have little bee sting lips at that point.
Yeah. All right. Number 4. This is very specific.
Okay.
78 degrees. No humidity.
At nighttime, it's overrated. Because I will still just lay in bed and fucking sweat at that point.
No. You can still have your AC and everything. I'm just saying, in general, 78 degrees. I think it's the most underrated temperature on the planet.
Really?
Because in 78, you could have jeans and a t-shirt on. You could have shorts and a lightweight sweatshirt on. And you could be okay. Like at night. Like if it's 78 at the ballpark at 9 o'clock at night, that is the most perfect weather there is. It's warm enough so that you're not cold and you're not sweating your ass off. And it's cool enough that like if you need a little jacket, you'd be fine.
All right. I would probably go.
You'd probably go 57. You asshole.
I'd go like 72, I think.
Listen, 72 this week, I was freezing my ass off. I had a fucking sweat. Not last week. Whatever. One of Boston's games, we're all there in shorts. We're like, it's going to be 70 out. And it was overcast and the wind was whipping.
Yeah.
I had shorts and sweatshirt on like this. Holy fuck. The wind whipping up.
I'll wear shorts in the fucking winter time. So
I know.
But yeah, no, I'll have to say 70 is a little overrated. Just drop it about 6 degrees. I'm good with it.
All right. And number 5, sweet and salty trail mix.
Overrated. I don't like my trail mix seasoned.
I say underrated because whoever thought about putting raisins and M&Ms and honey roasted peanuts together is a fucking genius. I got just enough.
You know what trail mix is definitely one of my favorites. Like I said, now I'm hooked on the Cape Cod trail mix, which is the almonds, cashews, and dried cranberries.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'd rather have it like
They used to have one called Glacier, and it had white chocolate in it.
Ooh.
Oh man, they were so good. and it was Price Chopper's brand, and then now they don't have.
There are some that are just glorified candy too.
Yeah.
But no, I want like a real,
healthier
trail mix.
Yep, I agree. All right, and that's it for Over Under.
Okay.
And we got one last thing to do, and you like doing this, and we're gonna listen to some kind of Trevor Bauer story. Rabbit hole. What videos dragged you down the TikTok, YouTube, Reels hole this week?
No real Bauer news this week, other than he came out and made a comment. Like, he's like, listen, you'd be hard pressed to find a team in Major League Baseball that has two better pitchers in the rotation than me. Definitely not three. Yet, and every manager, every player is singing my praises, yet I can't get signed. Who is stopping that from happening?
I agree, and across almost every baseball page, board, message board, whatever, however you call it today.
Yeah,
everybody's saying he's been blackmarked by Major League Baseball to some degree. How is he not signed?
Right.
How are you not taking that chance? Listen, we live in a land that's innocent until proven guilty, and he was proven innocent and the girl ended up going to jail for trying to extort somebody else.
Right.
So what the fuck are we doing here?
Right. Non-Trevor Bauer rabbit hole. Joe Guerrero started up again with After Prison Show, and he's been working with this guy, Lucky, and trying to get him into a rehab. Just him telling his story. But this other guy that he was buddies with in prison years and years ago, he kind of reconnected with, and the guy's clean and sober, has been for a bunch of years. So they tried to make a water-propelled prison tattoo gun, and what a clusterfuck of a video. Oh. You couldn't stop laughing because no matter what they tried, it just made a giant mess. And it worked to a degree. And he said, listen, when we did it in prison, it was with very small bottles in a small tube. So you had that pressure going through.
Right.
They were trying to use like garden hoses and shit like that.
Yeah, no, it was too much.
It was just way too much. What else did I watch? There was something on... It was a random player. But yeah, I didn't really get down too deep into too much this week. What were you watching?
A lot of unclogging drains.
Yeah?
Yeah, wild shit. Like, you ever see where they put the tire through and they break out the culvert pipes?
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool. A lot
of... a giant dinosaur turd coming out.
Yeah. It was one where it was a drain, and they just kept hammering the end of it, and this big block came out, and after that block came out, it was like a culvert pipe that crossed under the road, and the guy, and it was like just trickling. And the guy's like, Jesus, and he's like hitting it, and this block comes out, and it's spraying a little bit more, and he takes a rake and he's like going in there, and all of a sudden just and then the whole other side of the road that was like almost overflowing just came right under.
Nice.
And then there was another one. It was a classic car restoration place, garage shop. They came in. It rained for like 2 or 3 days. They came in and their office was leaking like crazy. They're worried about it getting back to like where the nice cars were they were restoring. Sure. And the water was running off the roof. Well, nothing was coming out of the gutter. So they took this air tank. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen these guys. They get this air tank. It's probably like, I don't know, like a duffel bag size. Mm-hmm. And they pile it through air, like, fill it to the max, however many, 150 pounds of air or whatever. And it's got just one nozzle and goes like fucking super aggressive, super like force. They've done it and blown people's ass of their pants right off. But they put it in the gutter and they went, and it shot whatever was clogging the gutter right out off the roof, like blew it up like a firework. Jesus. And then you just heard, and all the water started pouring out in the parking lot.
Damn.
So that was pretty cool. I watched a lot of crash videos this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, people pulling out in front of somebody, like
getting smoked.
Dude on a motorcycle's coming out, and a lady in a truck is pulling out, like crossing the road, and then just stops instead of there was nobody coming. Like, oh, there's a motorcycle, froze and stopped, and the guy laid it down, went under her truck.
Oh shit!
Motorcycle, fucking million pieces. He gets up, he's walking back. He walks past his other shoe that came off. He's like, oh fuck, yo, bro, why'd you stop? She's like, oh, are you okay? He goes, am I okay? You fucking stopped. Like, if you would have kept going, we wouldn't be here right now.
Jesus.
You know, and then last but not least, NCAA 25.
Yeah.
I showed you the video.
Yeah, it is sick.
All the thoughts of what was coming, what may come, what's hopefully going to be there. Just getting so amped up for this, and then a lot of stuff about Italy because I booked my trip. Boss and I are all booked, ready to go. His passport's in.
Nice.
All that stuff's ready to go. Now we're just trying to figure out, what we're going to do while we're in Italy.
Sweet.
So,
I did look a little bit into Outer Banks videos just to see what it's about and what's down there to do. And
I prefer the Cape.
I'll give you a review when I get back.
Yeah,
I mean, differences. I don't. Oh, what else? Oh, with crash videos. Have you seen it where like kids get waffled, but then they just get up and walk away?
Dude, they're like kids are like rubber.
Watch the kid get literally fucking run over.
Yep.
Like,
and gets right up.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. They're pliable. They're young.
Yeah,
they're really crazy.
It's made of rubber.
Yeah. You see some bad ones. I saw this dad. The kid had like a drop in and then like another jump. And dad's like, oh. And he gets up there and he gets off the ramp pretty good and he's going down. Well, at some point down, he sat back to get more, and the fucking bike, when he sat back, it cranked the fucking front tire and it threw him headlong right over top of the handlebars. And he went into the jump island like this. Like, here's the upper. He went into the thing head first. He crumpled into his asshole.
I like watching parkour fails.
They're brutal. Have you ever watched a video and you get anxious for the guy in the video?
Yeah.
Like when he's walking on buildings or some shit.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then, shoot, and you're like, you deserve that one.
Absolutely. Yeah. Dudes on the ledges of hotels in Vegas, like fucking 150 stories up.
Yeah, with nothing
jumping
on
to the next little land. Fuck that noise.
Yeah.
Gust, you're fucked.
Right, do you find yourself getting like a little
I get
anxious?
edgy. Yeah.
You're like, I can't watch that.
I get anxious. I turn it off.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. I cannot watch any more, and there's so many of them. Like MMA leg kick breaks.
Oh.
Like a guy throws a leg kick and his fucking leg looks like a boomerang going around the dude's knee.
Yeah, the dude's toes.
Because he checked it.
The dude's toes touch his own shin.
Yeah, you're like, oh god, that is just brutal.
Nasty
brutal shit. But you can't look away from it. And this is why we call it the rabbit hole.
That's right.
Because you look at one and now you got like 30 videos.
You gotta find more.
Right, like how many fucking horse hooves and shit did you look at?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or babies and like dogs.
Oh, dude, puppies are all
over.
They're
the best.
Yeah, golden retrievers is all over my page this week because I just I'm liking all these, But I will not have a dog until I retire.
Yeah.
Retire. Like when I retire, I want to travel.
Yeah.
But like when I'm ready and I'm settled down, then I'll have a dog.
That's cool.
Then he'll go everywhere with me.
I still got all sorts of Star Wars shit coming up in my feed.
I do too.
The 4th week.
I didn't know you were that big of Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen the one where Darth Vader goes down to the cantina on the Death Star and tries to order?
No.
Oh my god, bro! It's got to be one of the funniest fucking skits I've ever seen. I'll send it to you.
Oh yeah, I'll have to see.
So you got to look up Darth Vader. If you're listening to this, you want to check it out. Look up Darth Vader orders at the cantina. It is so fucking funny.
All right.
You got anything else?
Nah, buddy, I'm good.
All right. Well, bring us home, buddy.
All right. For GMAC, this is Winnie. This has been the Outlaw Blitz Podcast.